Today's video features an incredibly prominent vocalist who, while having a brief career, had both classical and gospel training. This performer possessed a dramatic, scorching baritone reminiscent of Billy Eckstine and Al Hibbler. He had operatic and classical voice training before becoming a gospel performer. In the mid-50s, he scored big on the R&B charts with emotive pop ballads. Throughout his successful 15-year singing career, he was recognized by several nicknames, including Mr. Rock and Soul, the Gentle Giant, and most memorably, the Golden Boy of Song. However, few of these nicknames completely capture the grandeur of his voice, the impact he made on his generation's musicians, or the legacy his music has left behind. Elvis Presley adored him, Jackie Wilson and Brooke Benton imitated him, and the Righteous Brothers recorded his songs. His voice and legacy have won him a place in history that will last for many years. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Roy Hamilton. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Rudolphus Hamilton on April 16, 1929 in Leesburg, Georgia, to Evelyn and Albert Hamilton. Hamilton, like many other vocalists, began singing in church choirs. When he was 14, his family relocated to Jersey City, New Jersey, and he became a featured singer in the Central Baptist Church Choir. In high school, he believed his destiny was set for singing, but he soon shifted his focus to the performing arts. Roy was good enough to have his paintings exhibited in various New York galleries. He also took up boxing. Hamilton, just 17, won a talent contest at the Apollo Theater in February 1947, marking his first major foray into secular music. But nothing came from it. So, to support himself while developing the unusual sound and vocal style he desired, Hamilton worked as an electronics technician during the day and an amateur heavyweight boxer at night, with a record of 6 wins and 1 loss. In 1948, he joined the Searchlight Gospel Singers. Although he studied light opera, his heart was drawn to popular music. Hamilton began working in Newark's tiny clubs, where he was discovered by disc jockey Bill Cook, who became his manager and introduced him to Columbia Records. Roy signed with Columbia's subsidiary Epic in December 1953. His debut single was You'll Never Walk Alone.
Walk on through the way.
It became an instant smash, topping the R&B charts for 8 weeks in April, May 1954, and peaked at number 21 on the mainstream charts. Later, the song became a sports anthem throughout Europe. Elvis Presley, who loved Hamilton, covered the reverse of You'll Never Walk Alone. I'm going to sit right down and cry. If I Loved You debuted at number 4 on the R&B charts and number 26 on the mainstream charts. Vex followed. Ebb Tide, which reached at number 5 on the R&B charts and number 30 on the pop charts, as well as the original version of Hurt, which peaked at number 8 on the R&B charts and went on to become a success for Team Euro in 1961, Elvis Presley in 1976, and countless others. Roy's first non-charting single was a cover of I Believe, but the success of Unchained Melody in the spring of 1955 more than made up for it.
Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea.
Roy's rendition was one of 3 pop top 10 hits, reaching at number 6, and it was his second R&B number 1. In April 1956, Hamilton was unexpectedly diagnosed with tubercular pneumonia. Roy's press agent announced his resignation on June 2nd, 1956, citing sickness and tiredness. However, in June 1957, he returned to the recording studio and 1 month later began live performances. At first, he recorded the Isle in his customary ballad manner, but it lost to a competing version by the Five Satins called To the Isle So he decided to join the rock and roll bandwagon. His debut song in the new style, I'm Gonna Lock You in My Heart, did not chart, but it was followed by Don't Let Go. This became one of his most successful singles, peaking at number 2 on the R&B charts and number 13 on the pop list. The song is now recognized as a rock staple. Jerry Lee Lewis recorded it twice.
Dying. Don't let go, don't let go. You've been keeping your lips from mine.
Columbia Pictures produced the film Let's Rock in January 1958 with Roy's song Here Comes Love. Roy released a couple more up-tempo singles, but he quickly reverted to ballads such as Pledging My Love, which peaked at number 45 on the pop charts.
And because I know that even the eternal farewell shall be robbed of half its bitterness.
In the same year, he scored his second greatest pop success, the gospel-influenced You Can Have Her, which reached at number 12 on the pop charts and number 6 on the R&B charts. Like Don't Let Go, this song has been covered by several musicians throughout the years. Hamilton's stage performance must have been pretty impressive. Jerry Lee Lewis told his historian Rick Bragg that there was only one performer he didn't want to follow on stage, Roy Hamilton. From 1954 to 1962, Epic issued 42 singles and 16 albums by Hamilton. Roy was unable to replicate his prior success after switching to MGM from 1963 to 1965 and RCA from 1965 to 1967, despite his best efforts to adapt to the new soul music. He completed his final recordings for the AGP label in 1969. In that year, he had a stroke in New Rochelle, New York. Despite surgery, he passed soon after on July 20th, 1969, 3 months after turning 40. He left behind his wife and 7 children. Roy Hamilton Jr. and Ray Hamilton are in the music and entertainment industries. Hamilton was deeply in debt at the time of his passing, causing him to borrow extensively on his insurance policy just a week before he passed to pay off back taxes. This forced his widow to launch a public fundraising campaign for his funeral. Elvis Presley is claimed to have paid Hamilton's outstanding medical bills and burial expenses. In a 2017 BBC documentary, Hamilton's son, Roy Hamilton Jr., stated that Elvis Presley brought his wife a rose every day Hamilton was in the hospital. Presley sent her flowers for 6 months after Hamilton passed as a result of stroke complications. Hamilton's semi-operatic approach has inspired numerous artists, including Jackie Wilson and the Righteous Brothers. However, his approach was more reminiscent of the 40s than the 50s, and by the time soul music emerged, his career had gone rapidly. Hamilton was inducted into Georgia's Music Hall of Fame in 2010. Hamilton was Epic Records' first star, scoring the company's first #1 single of any sort. Hamilton was the artist who influenced Sam Cooke, a gospel music icon at the time, to move to secular music. As of this recording, Roy Hamilton has not been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, although he rightfully deserves so. Let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way. Also, what is your favorite song from Roy Hamilton?